Hi, YouTube. This is LaShonda and Shania. I know my channel still says trying to conceive after a loss, but I know I have to merge my two accounts, my Google Plus and my YouTube account, in order for me to change my name. So I haven't gotten around to it. Um, I did make this video previously, but I had an interruption, which I'm not going to go into because it has nothing to do with this update, and I'm trying my hardest to make my updates a lot shorter than what they've been, so it makes it easier for everybody to watch it. I want to thank everybody that completely watched my video that was like 32 minutes long about my emotions, what's new being in the third trimester, and things going on in my life, and how bed rest has been. I really appreciate the comments. I really appreciate the views, and whether thumbs up or thumbs down, I just appreciate it all. And okay, so I am 28 weeks and 3 days today. I had an appointment on Monday with my doctor. It was supposed to be with my OB, but it was with her midwife. So I was like, okay. For those of you who don't know, I also see maternal fetal medicine because my pregnancy is very high risk. And about 2 to 3 months ago, he suggested that I only see Dr. Khan, which is my OB. And for the past month, I haven't seen her. So I kind of I don't like that. My mom don't like her at all. But being so late in my pregnancy as I am in the third trimester, I really don't think it's beneficial for me to just leave to find another OB right now. So, okay, let's get into my visit. I lost 2 pounds, so I'm still losing weight, but not as much as I used to. My uterus is measuring 28 centimeters, I believe. And her heart rate was in the 140s, 150s, and that was about it. Now, the questions that I had asked her was one. What I didn't mention in my other video was that it was one day I had contractions, not Braxton Hicks, but actual contractions that lasted for 4 hours. I did not go to labor and delivery only because of the fact that they tell you that if your contractions, if you have more than 4 or 5 in an hour and they're consistent, then to go in. Well, the intervals of mine was 15 minutes to 30 minutes apart. But they did last for like a minute to a minute and a half. Now, the reason how I know these are real contractions and not Braxton Hicks was because my pain radiated from the sides of my back, came up to the top of my uterus, went all the way down to my cervix, and once it hit my cervix, that's when it really got uncomfortable. That's when I started feeling a stretching feeling. It's like a burning, stretching sensation. Not comfortable at all. I didn't wake my boyfriend, husband up, because, it was something I was dealing with on my own. Now, if they would have gotten worse or consistent, then yes, I would have woke him up. But all I did was lay in the bed, rub my stomach, breathed it out, and just kept myself relaxed, thinking, okay, well, these are nothing compared to what I'm potentially going to be feeling. So let me see how well I can try to cope and deal with these. So therefore I can have some type of idea of what's going to be happening, whether it's in the beginning stages of labor or active labor or transitioning. At least I know what something starts to feel like. So I told her about that, and I also told her about the fact that I have a lot of pressure and sharp shooting pains in my vagina and cervix area. Sorry, TMI. And I was expecting her to check me, even though I know that they don't like to check ladies that often, because it's uncomfortable, which I do know, and two, they don't want to cause infection by constantly checking you. So I can understand their point of view on that, but I at least thought with my real contractions and my pressure and pain and discomfort that maybe she would have checked to see if I wasn't effacing or thinning or dilating. She didn't do anything. She said, "Oh, that's normal." So I said, "Okay." The nurse practitioner, I think they are, that medical assistant that took my blood pressure, she said my blood pressure was kind of high, but she wasn't worried about it. So I asked the midwife about it. She was like, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about." So I said, "Okay." So they check my protein. They check your urine every day, every time your appointment. So I asked about my protein just to make sure there's nothing coming or perspiring, because I'm supposed to do a 24-hour urine every 2 to 3 weeks, and I haven't did one in almost a month and a half. And she said, "Oh, well, there's nothing on my paper saying that you had any protein in your urine." So I said, "Okay." So my next questions to her was, with my maternal fetal medicine doctor, from what I understand, maternal fetal medicine overrides your OB. So their recommendations was weekly blood pressure and weight checks and biophysical testing starting at 28 weeks. My midwife said my appointments want to stay every 2 weeks and that my biophysical testing won't start till 32 weeks. So I was like, okay. I kind of didn't appreciate that, all because that, I got maternal fetal medicine that's really worried because there's things that's going on, and I have my OB slash midwife that's not really, I can't say caring, but it's taking a little light side to the situation. So I was like, okay. So when I went to go leave, I went back to the bathroom. Same bathroom I gave my urine sample in. My urine sample was still in the bathroom, untouched, not checked for protein or nothing. So okay, I just walked out. At that point, I was really aggravated. I had an appointment from maternal fetal medicine that same day anyway. So I went to maternal fetal medicine. I was called back from my ultrasound. I do have two 3D pictures that I can show you off my phone. And those of you that are friends with me on Facebook do already know the good news. So those of you that don't, I will let you know. My little girl has went up in the percentile range from 21 to 37. She is weighing in at an estimated weight of 2 pounds and 9 ounces, which is astounding to me because honestly, if she would have been 3 ounces more, she would actually gain 1 whole pound in 2 weeks. So I'm really astonished about how good the bed rest, which I am on bed rest technically, but I do go out occasionally. It's not like I go out every day. It's only occasionally. And I am my sicknesses. I don't throw up anymore, but I'm not gonna knock. I will knock on wood, but I cannot guarantee it's not coming back because my nausea still lingers around. But I have Zofran and suppositories, promethazine, I think it is, suppositories to help combat that. But I also stay away from my triggers, and what could potentially become a trigger. I just try to stay away from. But so far, so good. I still end up losing weight, so even with eating and keeping down, I'm still losing weight somehow. So I don't know. So the doctor came in and he was happy to see that she would have in the percentile range because they was really worried that she dropped really fast, from the 80th percent to the 21st percent. She dropped really fast. So he said that's pretty good that she is up in the percentile range. He said your uterine artery notchings are still very high. He said that's very concerning and that's not good. Now I'm gonna tell you why I like my maternal fetal medicine doctors. They don't shoot the shit. They keep it bold, blank, point blank. They keep it completely honest, whether you want to hear it or not, whether it's good or not. They don't sugarcoat nothing. So even though there's something that I may not want to hear, I have to hear him because I have to understand the concern in his voice and the serious of the matter. So, I asked him what does the notchings mean in my arteries, in my uterine arteries to my placenta. He said basically what that means is that my uterine artery is like a pipe. It's like a really tight pipe, and the more blood that my body's trying to get to her, it's just being rejected back out. It's being pushed back out because there's not enough room to go through. So he asked me about my sugars. I told him what they were. Oh, and I also found out that yes, I am anemic. That's why I'm on the iron. I asked him about. He asked me about my blood pressure. I said, to be honest with you, I said the doctor took my blood pressure. I said, but they said it was kind of high, but they weren't worried about it. So he was like, hold on. So he took a minute. He called the doctor's office. Doctor's office didn't answer. So he went out of the room and came back. He said, honey, your blood pressure was 156 over 86. He said, that's unacceptable. He said, they didn't tell you what your blood pressure was, did they? I said, no. He was like, okay. And I said, listen, I said, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, Dr. Mueller wanted them to see me weekly for blood pressure and weight checks. They told me I still come every 2 weeks. It was also requested that my biophysical testing starts at 28 weeks. They said no, 32 weeks. And basically, when he came in, he said that I barely passed my biophysical testing, my first one. He said I barely passed it. Well, he said the baby barely passed it, basically. And the tech forgot to get her practice breathing. So we sat there and waited for a good little while, and she finally practiced breath. Well, she took a practice breath. Oh, it was so beautiful to see her little chest go like this. So anyway, he said, okay, that's good enough. So he said, okay, I'm going to tell you like this. He said, before you leave from here, I will call your doctor's office. He said, they have to listen to us. He said, I tell them what to do. And he says, if they don't listen to me, I will be a pain in their backsides until they do. He said, you need to be seen more. You need to have more testing. So after that, after I asked the rest of my questions, which they was all the same. Yes, I'm at a risk for preterm labor. Yes, my risk for preeclampsia is pretty high, and everything else like that. And he said he doesn't want to see me go to the doctor's office one day and have a really high blood pressure, and they say, oh, it's you preeclampic or preeclampsia, and they deliver you. He said it's just as simple as the fact that you're in your third trimester and your blood pressure is going to get higher. It does raise in the third trimester, and you just need extra blood pressure medicine. So I said, okay. So we left, and when I was out in the waiting area, he said, okay, I want to see you back in 2 weeks. And he said, you need to see me on Monday, the 16th. I said, no, my appointment was changed to the 20th. He got mad. He said, who is changing her appointments and why I don't have a sheet? He said, no, she needs to be seen every 2 weeks, and you see her on Monday, the 16th. So the lady was like, don't get mad at me. I didn't do this, the chart so did. So he was like, well, she needs to be seen. He was like, she needs to be seen every 2 weeks on a dot and call her OB. So they called my OB. OB got on the phone. He was like, I have your patient, LaShonda Richardson here, and she needs to be seen more than twice a week. She needs to be seen every week. Her baby barely passed the biophysical testing, and we need her to have more testing. He says she's very high risk. If there's not anyone else I know that needs more testing, it's her, and it needs to be done. Conversation was like about 2 minutes long, very short. She was like, okay, and he got the phone. He said, no, she said someone's going to call you from the office and schedule your appointments for every week. He said, if they don't call you by the end of the day, you call them tomorrow. Make sure they do what they're supposed to do. And if they still don't do it, he says, I will step in and they have to do it. So I was like, okay. They did end up calling me about a couple hours later. So every Monday at 10 o'clock, I go to my OB for my regular appointment on top of being put on a monitor. I don't know what it means being put on a monitor. I didn't ask. I'll find out on Monday. So that was basically, in a whole nutshell, my visit. Now, let me show you my little lady. I have the pictures, but I honestly don't flag one in my purse right now. So, she does not want to show her face. I'm not trying to call her mean. My mom said, don't call her mean. Oh, and by the way, it was me, my mom, my dad, and my boyfriend of course, me. My mom and dad and my boyfriend at the ultrasound. My dad's first time coming to my ultrasound, and it was so awesome. I asked my mom, how did he take to it? My mom was like, he said it was wonderful. He enjoyed it. He thought it was very special. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just felt so special having my dad there to see his granddaughter on the screen moving around and punching me and kicking and moving. It was just so sweet. And I gave them this picture Let me see if I can get it bigger. I gave them this picture here. I got two of these pictures because my mom said it looks like she's praying, but to me it looks like she's playing peekaboo. Let me see if I can get it clear on here. You see her hands? She won't show her face. I don't know why she won't show her face. And this one is her hand and her ear. And these are actually 4D because they're trying to. Let me see if I can get her. No, her ear's in there. They're trying to get a good picture of her face, but she would not turn from my pelvis. She was facing my pelvis. She wouldn't turn around. She just stayed there like this, and she didn't want to be seen. And when we first put the probe on me, she was in there like this. She does not want nobody to see her. I don't know why. I'm thinking my little lady is shy. I don't know, but it was just so sweet. But that was the only two pictures we could get of her. So she said maybe next time. So next time I go, I'll be 30 weeks in one day. And I can't believe to say 30 weeks in one day. And some other awesome news is this. I'm about to get ready to finish this because 16 minutes. I asked him, I said, how far do you think I can go with this pregnancy? He said 39 weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, 39 weeks. I was like, okay. Now I do know there's a long way to go between here and 39 weeks. 10 weeks just about. And I know. So I'm hoping to keep everything at bay. Preeclampsia, anything else that could arise. Hopefully preterm labor, which I didn't tell him that I was having contractions and everything. But if I can keep everything at bay, then I can carry her for as long as possible. 39 weeks is when he said he would prefer me to be induced. So I'm happy. I do know there's ups and downs with this, and I'm hoping to get more good news come the 16th. So we shall see. But alright, ladies, this is my first ever short-term 17-minute video. You've gotten all the information I believe. I have no new baby buys this week as of yet. I do have other videos I do have to make and upload between doctor's appointments, weekly, maternal fetal medicine every 2 weeks, and my eye appointments, which I need. My appointment for my eyes is the 19th of June and 19th of this month, which I need to go because I haven't been since December, and I know that my vision has actually gotten worse. Probably because with the increased pressure of pregnancy on top of the constant vomiting that I was doing, I may have did some damage to my nerves in my eye. And I just couldn't stomach the trip all the way down to my eye doctor, which is pretty far. But now that I can at least handle it, I'm going because I know he's only pretty mad and upset that he hasn't seen me in a while. So, alright, ladies, I wanted to show y'all my nails for the baby shower, which is still in an up and down situation because of the fact that we're trying to make sure her health is okay. So, let me see. I don't know if you can see the color of my nails, but they're supposed to be pink. They are pink, actually. So, I don't know if you can see them or not. I was ecstatic to finally find the design that I want, that I've been looking for so long. I finally found it. So, alright then, I am going to do a belly shot. I don't know how good it's going to be. Don't mind my mess in the background, as I always say. And let's see how this goes. Yeah, I'm getting somewhere. Let me see. If I do it like this, you can see the belly. Now, mind you, I'm still losing weight, so this must be just her now. Oh, you can definitely see now. I'm getting bigger. I think it's so cool, and I'm getting dizzy. There she is. She's in there somewhere. So, alright, ladies. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you for everything, because the well wishes and the prayers and everything has totally worked. All right, ladies. Bye.